Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first installment of the Thriving Leader Breakthrough Series. And if you're joining me on LinkedIn and Facebook, go ahead and say hello in the comments. Give me a thumbs up to say that you're here. And I'm really excited to get started. I'm Whitney Sullivan. I'm a motivational speaker and leadership coach based in Bozeman, Montana. And it's my passion to support leaders as they navigate new experiences and as they build new skills. And I really hope that this series can bridge that gap between feeling like, I just don't have what it takes to be a leader, to feeling like, okay, I know what I'm doing and I feel good about what I'm doing. And so, to start the breakthrough series, today we're going to address one of the biggest and most common pain points I see rising leaders face. And that's making peace with the fact that we can't be all things to all people in our role. And what that can look like on the ground is facing employees saying things like, well, that's not how the old boss did it. So if you're watching on LinkedIn or Facebook, give me a thumbs up if you've ever had that experience where that's not how the old boss did it. Or you might hear people complain, well, I don't know why you don't just do XYZ, or to be a good leader, you should do or be XYZ. And we face all of this feedback, right? And we face all of these idealized visions of what people think a leader should be. But the painful reality that rising leaders face is that everyone has their own version of what makes a great leader, and we simply can't be all things to all people. And so I'm here to assure you, while you can't do that, you can be the best version of you. Because trying to meet every person's ideal is not only impossible, it's also a detriment to your confidence. And your best bet is to actually double down on the unique passions, values, and talents that you can put into the service of other people. And so to start today, I want to have a reflection and I want to think a little bit more deeply about this with a reflection. And so grab a piece of paper or just pull up a note on or a Word document on your computer. And I want you to think about a leader that you admire. Just bring them to mind, a leader that you look up to, a leader that you admire. And what are three words or phrases that you would use to describe that leader? What made them influential and impactful and memorable? Three words or phrases. And then I want you to think, did that person have weaknesses? Give me a thumbs up on the video if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook if that person also had weaknesses. So you just wrote these amazing things about this leader that you admire, that you thought of when asked that question. But that person also had weaknesses. So I'm curious, what made their weaknesses forgivable? What made their weaknesses redeemable? Because you just said that you really admired them and you said that they had weaknesses. It was both. And here's the thing, when we're new to a role, it's really vulnerable. So, as a new leader, we tend to try to do things that make that vulnerability or that exposure or that risk feel a little bit more manageable. And the things that we unconsciously do to try to make that vulnerability more manageable is things like trying to be perfect or trying to affirm that everyone likes you or trying to make sure that you don't have any weaknesses at all and you're just the perfect leader. But the thing is, that's not where your true influence and confidence comes from. And I have a hunch that the person you admired, the reason you admired them is because their strengths and their confident style so far outweighed the weaknesses. It wasn't that they didn't have any, it's just that their strengths and their style were so powerful, it outweighed any impacts that the weaknesses had. And so you can't be all things to all people in your role, but you can double down on the unique passions, values, and talents that you put into the service of other people. And we're going to talk more next week about the data that Gallup has found that corroborates that experience, the power of doubling down on your strengths rather than trying to convert all your weaknesses and trying to be the perfect leader or the perfect person. So let's dive more into this. What is a leadership style? A leadership style is your approach or how you show up to work or how other people experience you. Your style is your unique combination of talents and strengths in service. And I know there's lots of definitions out there for a leadership style. So you can throw in the comments, if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook, you can throw in the comments how you view a leadership style. What's your definition of a style? But here's the thing I know for sure about a style is that you have to name it in order to claim it. And I don't know who said that phrase first, but it's really easy to remember. So how do we identify what the style is that we have to claim? And the single best tool that my clients have found in helping them identify and own their style is the Enneagram. So I work with rising leaders who are making that jump from individual contributor to leader for the first time. And so what helps identify your style is having language to help mold it and to help shape it. And so we use the Enneagram, which is a personality and personal growth tool that shows us 9 ways leaders think, feel, and behave. It also shows us 9 different sets of unique strengths, skill sets, and approaches to leadership. And it gives us that language that we can identify, and that when we hear it or when we say it, we think, oh, that's me. Yeah, that feels like me. And that's a really powerful experience to have when you're starting to build your unique leadership style. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move through the 9 different leadership styles based on Enneagram type. And what I want you to do is have a sheet of paper or a note pulled up. And as I say words and phrases that stand out to you, I want you to note them and I want you to write them down. And then we're going to do something with those words and phrases before we leave today. So let's start with the type 1 leader. The type 1 leaders are improvers. They see leadership as a duty to do what is right, moral, and good. They can't help but see imperfections, and they see it as their role to improve and correct them. They excel at doing the right thing, discerning between right and wrong and good and bad, and others experience them as a leader who is driven for quality, who wants to avoid mistakes, and someone who is committed to following the rules and standards for everyone's best interest. At their best, they create excellent processes, they have an incredible eye for detail, and they embody discernment and high standards in everything they do. So if something resonated with you, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And so that way you don't worry about having to write all these down or screenshotting every one. I actually have all of this information already in one spot in the 5 to Thrive by Enneagram type guidebook. And I've thrown that link in the comments of every platform, or you can take a picture of that QR code right there. That way you don't have to worry about madly writing all of these things down. But moving on, type 2 leaders are helpers. They see leadership as a duty to help others and to be in service to others. They can't help but see the needs of others and all the ways that they can be helpful to them and valuable to them, and all the ways they can be indispensable to the team. They excel at mentoring, supporting, and cheerleading those around them. Others experience them as warm and generous and self-sacrificing, and at their best, they facilitate connection, cooperation, and camaraderie in teams. Type 3 leaders, they're the achievers. They see leadership as a duty to be the best at everything they do and everything the team does. They can't help but see all the ways they can help the team win, succeed, and achieve. They focus on reaching tangible achievements, accolades, and awards. They excel at driving results, reaching goals, and being productive. Others experience them as competitive, results-focused, and efficient, and at their best, they are gifted at working hard, helping the team win, and being excellent at whatever they set their mind to. Type 4 leaders, the creatives, or we could also say the intuitives. They see leadership as a duty to instill purpose, meaning, and a sense of significance in all that they do. They can't help but see all the things that are missing in order to achieve significance, meaning, and purpose, and they can see what they need to do to fill those gaps. They excel at understanding the emotional and relational levels of leadership, and they're highly intuitive, empathetic, and create safe spaces for others to go outside their comfort zone. Others experience them as deep, emotional, intense, authentic, and creative, and they lead by a magnetism. They lead by a force of personality. At their best, they're gifted at bringing together the individual strengths of a team to make a greater whole. Type 5 leaders, they're the observers. They see leadership as a duty to advance knowledge, understanding, and objectivity. They take an approach to leadership where they face complex challenges with rationality, calm, and clarity. They can't help but see all the ways you can make something complex, simple, and they're gifted at bringing clarity out of chaos. They're the best at learning, educating, researching, and listening without bias, and they're often considered thought leaders in their field. Others experience them as intellectual, cerebral, calm, cool, and collected, and at their best, they're inventive, innovative, the opposite of a micromanager, and they use intellect to advance and develop the team. Type 6 leaders, the skeptics, the healthy skeptics. They see leadership as a duty to safeguard the team, prepare for threats, and evaluate risks to goal achievement. They can't help but see all the ways an initiative or project could go wrong. They are the but what if people, and they might be the first to question an idea's safety for the betterment of everyone on the team. They excel at asking excellent questions. They are awesome at identifying pitfalls in a plan, and they're the best at preparing contingency plans. Others experience them as cautious, slightly doubtful, questioning, but also loyal, team-oriented, and extremely reliable. At their best, they're excellent problem solvers, and they are the person you want to have on your team or leading you when a crisis does occur. All right, we got 3 more types to go. Type 7 leaders, they're the visionaries. They see leadership as a duty to innovate, plan for the future, and embody a positive outlook. They can't help but see all the possibilities available to them, and they are the idea people who move a million miles a minute. They excel at idea generation, supporting the team and bringing that kickstart energy everyone needs for a new initiative or a new project. Others experience them as fast-paced, positive, enthusiastic, and charismatic. And at their best, they can always find the silver lining, they can advance new and innovative ideas, and they provide the workplace with a sense of fun and playfulness and adventure. Type 8 leaders are the challengers. They see leadership as a duty to advance the big picture, to advocate for injustice, and to use their power to help those that can't help themselves. They can't help but see all the weaknesses in a person or plan that might prevent success. They work to make their teams strong, confident, and empowered. They excel at taking bold, decisive action. They are passionate, energetic, and can make big things happen. They also have a soft side that excels at mentoring and empowering others. And others will experience them as tough, confident, and willing to push against others to achieve goals. At their best, they're tough and tender. They advocate for the underdog. They're protective, they're assertive, and they lead with a strong influence on others. And last but not least, type 9, the peacemakers. They see leadership as a duty to maintain harmony, include all perspectives, and build consensus. They can't help but see everyone's unique perspective on a matter and believe all those perspectives carry the same weight. They also can't help but see all the ways a goal or plan might cause chaos, conflict, or tension. They excel at diplomacy, being democratic, and bringing diverse groups of people together. They make excellent mediators of conflict, and they share their power easily with others. Others experience them as unselfish, supportive, thoughtful, and communicative. And at their best, they can drive the right actions and initiatives forward in a way that is fair, respectful, and inclusive of everyone on the team. So those are 9 leadership types through the lens of the Enneagram. And I know I just threw a lot of words at you. And so if you really want to take a deeper dive, you can download that 5 to Thrive by Enneagram Type guidebook, and you're going to have all the notes right there and lots of good extras as well. But before we close out today, I want you to notice what words and phrases really resonated with you. The words and phrases that made you think, oh, that's me. That feels like me. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick out one word or phrase that really stuck out to you out of that list. And before today ends, I want you to find one way to use that strength or style. So pick one word or phrase, find one way to use that strength or style before today ends. And really, what I want you to do here is go out and get yourself a leadership win. And even better, find that one thing, go make it happen by the end of the day, and then come back to this video and comment what that win was, because I want to be the first to celebrate with you. If you love this, there's more to this series. And next week, we're going to talk about owning and developing your strengths and the research behind why that is so important. And we're going to be joined by my friend and Gallup strengths coach, Sarah Collins. And we're going to talk about the research behind the importance of owning and developing your strengths rather than trying to convert all of your weaknesses. And you can register for reminders and replays by going to whitneysullivan.com/breakthrough series. That's also in the comments of all the videos, all the live streams I have out right now. And then the last thing I want to tell you about, if you're loving the Enneagram, if you're curious about it, and you can see all the ways it's going to help your leadership practice, I'm running my first Enneagram and Leadership Workshop live that you can sign up for. And that's Thursday, March 2nd, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. It's a 90-minute workshop followed by 30 minutes of live group coaching. You're going to learn your Enneagram type, and then you're going to learn the 5 barriers every rising leaders must break through in order to feel confident, energetic, and resilient in their role. And the best part is that every barrier and breakthrough, the Enneagram is going to show you the answer, and it's going to show you how you uniquely can break through that barrier. So I hope you can join me there. You can also sign up. If you sign up for the Breakthrough series, you'll get a reminder of when registration is going to open, which is going to be on Monday, February 6th. So really excited about this. Otherwise, make sure you register for the replay and reminders for the next one at whitneysullivan.com/breakthrough series. If you have questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, or you can send me a direct message and I'm more than happy to help you. But thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.